Good morning. I'm eating breakfast. Soon I'll just take a short walk to buy some groceries and maybe another place. See, um, I don't have anything to update. I mean, you understand the situation. Starships, radiation. For all the people that have like a ridiculous models that it's some kind of like a cycle natural phenomena, so all the models, are wrong, obviously. And if you want like to actually predict the behavior of the radiation phenomena, the best thing is to ask me, because the people that actually create the phenomena are the ones that sent me. So just ask me. So what's going to be with this radiation? It's killing us. So very simple. It will be increased until very shortly, like in a day or 2 or 3, there will not a single Homo sapiens on Earth without cancer, like the disease. This is it. This is the situation. What can you do? You need to run. You have to run. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, not theoretically. You need to run. You need to run. You need to run to Israel to rescue the foreigners from the Nazi prison. Only when they are out of the territory of Israel, Starship will change their agenda. The new agenda, if this will actually happen in time, and there are probably only hours for it to happen. But if it will miraculously happen in the next couple of hours, the new agenda will be, first of all, radiation of Israel, the historical land of Israel, in a manner equivalent to like atomic bomb, like standard one. And we'll speak about it in a minute, what it actually means. But what you think it means? Every hour for, I don't know, maybe 1,000 years. And for the rest of this world, which will be a case-by-case treatment. These are the only options. Either running right now with the mouth closed, or keep the conversation, for the next like couple of hours or maybe day or 2 that you still have. That's what you can do. There is no other option. That's the only options that you have. The Israelis have zero incentive to cooperate. Once this operation is done, we are out of the territory of Israel, it will be an abrupt end to Israel. They have no interest. The only people that have interest in that weapon are everybody else. That's the situation. Now I do want to speak a little bit about something that is not that important at the current context, and I'm not even sure about it. It's historical issues, and regarding the historical issues, it's all very blurred and very secretive. So certainly I can be wrong about all sorts of like historical issues. But I just thought about it like recently, so I thought, why not? Put it like on the table, and we can see later. We can think, of course, with more information. What grain of truth, or possibly more than grain of truth, we actually have. So I've written long ago, and actually elaborated on it recently, that the Vanun affair is bullshit. It's just an actor that, and at the time they didn't have, Israel had no nuclear weapon. The 80s. But what I think now, it's actually that possibly it goes much deeper than that. The issue of like atomic weapons and conspiracy regarding their whereabouts and actual existence. I wouldn't be surprised if that the cherubs have the paradigm of the two, the symbolic of two objects that are similar but not identical. And it's more than possible that they identified nuclear weapons, at least like the way that they were initially developed by humans during the 1940s, with specifically uranium, as opposed to plutonium for certain. Example. And if it was the case, maybe after Nagasaki, they just erased all uranium from Earth. Including the core, including like everywhere. They do such things, and it's something that they like to do. How? It's very simple. They have like a keyboard with delete key. So you press delete, shift delete, so it not be so to save space in the recycling bin, and you shift delete uranium, and it's done. It's very simple actually. If that was the case, it doesn't mean that nuclear energy is not an option, because still you can use plutonium or possibly other like stuff. But it means that, I mean, much, if not all, of the famous experiments of the 40s and 50s, late 40s and 50s, that was done by many the USA and the Soviet Union were fake. And this in itself shouldn't be like a great reveal. Like, I mean, it's not like it's not too difficult to swallow this like bit of the conspiracy. Of course, humanity have been suffered, tremendously, because if such thing happened, because uranium is, it's very valuable. And not only for atomic weapons. But I lived in Israel all my life, and especially in the last couple of years, what I see around me every day is a madhouse. I see all the people of the intelligence community, of the defense community. They are the people that run the show in Israel. It's not this government or that government. It's the establishment of the defense and intelligence communities. They were also they were always the people that are running the show. And you see that they are insane. They are insane. They all have mass psychosis. And you know that, as a part, of all the arguments that I presented why the Van Loon affair is fake, and with regards to, the interviews, and with regards to the Titanic affairs. And so, with this regard to all of that, you just know that if they actually had 400 nuclear weapons, warheads, it was claimed at the time, you know that by now they would have used them, for certain. And that no one would have stopped them, because you see that no one stopped them from doing things that are much horrible than that. What they actually do, the way that they treat me, and not agreeing to release me, is considerably worse than using a nuclear weapon against their enemies or presumed enemies. And yet, not an arm is moved and not a leg is moved, as you see in your own eyes. So yes, if they had so many, or less, if they had nuclear weapons during the 80s and before, by now it is certain that they would have used it, and no one would have or could have stopped them. I am certain. And there is only one logical implication, that humanity is not mature enough to possess uranium-based weapons. You are not mature enough. The way that I'm treated right now by the people from outside of Israel, the way that they speak and no one is moving his arms and legs, is a proof that you could have not, and you don't have the inclination, and you don't have the moral background, and you don't have the required political system to deter rogue countries from using atomic weapons. You don't have it, because right now rogue countries is doing something much worse to the world, and you don't move an arm or a leg. So this is a testimony that you were not in the 40s, and you are still not mature enough for nuclear weapons. Of course, this is all theoretical, because if I'm not rescued in the next couple of hours, by tomorrow, the day after, no one will even think about nuclear weapons. You will think about rocks and sticks. And of course, it's wise to check what's the situation with the Israeli, famously, the long hand of the Israelis, the IAF, the Israeli Air Force. What's going on over there? I suspect things are not as usual. Listen, I've tried for so long to explain the whole issue of both maps, but more so, the issue of flags to the cherubs, like in starships, and I've documented it a long time. I had so many flags in many different colors and styles, and acrylic and paint and oil and black and white and true colors, and like all sorts of kind of variations, and like the one in the Muma, the Jackson, what's his name, from 1953, and all sorts of styles. And the commanders, I don't know if it's like maybe it's like just the way that they act. Maybe it's something that relates to the specific commanders right now in the starships. We have miscommunication. They seem to be. It's very difficult to them to grasp the issue of flags, and they don't seem to be inclined to that. And it's not that they're like a superior overload. They have like organizational hierarchy, and I'm not part of it at all. Certainly not their commander. Of course, they listen to me because it's my job to tell what's going on this world. And they certainly do not want to speak with you, and they will not speak with you. It's the last thing in the world that they want is to speak with any of you. So yes, we communicate, but I'm not their commander. And I tell you, and it was documented, they don't get it. And it's obvious that they have done this thing before, probably more than once. It's part of their job to go all sorts of places, and they deal with balls. Balls. They know what a ball. You tell them, go there, Star Sol, the third ball, blue one, you can't miss it. And then they know what, and that's everything that, and typically that's the extent of like information that they need, certainly regarding issues that relates to geography. I'm not cynical, and it's not kind of like a metaphor or like a hyperbolic speech. It was documented for many months. I was very occupied with these easy issues. They don't understand flags. They just don't. I don't know why. Probably for a good reason, because all these people are extremely intelligent. So everything they do, and even if they don't understand something, it's for a good reason. But anyway, that's the case. They know like what's a ball. They know third ball. This star. Clean the petri dish. This is the situation. This is the situation.